Good morning. My name is Todd Smith. I'm with Mandy Spring Nursery. These are my nursery fields, and I'm just going to show you some of my thoughts and some of the tips and the things I look for when I'm pruning an apple tree, or any tree really. So I've got my tools here this morning. I've got, well, this is my professional tool. This is my pole pruner, and I can reach up to about 10 feet tall with this. I don't need this for this tree. I would really recommend having pole pruners if you have a lot of apple trees or fruit trees. Trusty Felco 2s. This is the standby in the industry. Sort of, if you don't have Felco 2s in the horticultural world, are you really a horticulturist? So I'm going to start all my pruning. Every time I approach a tree, I'm going to walk up to it and I'm going to look at my tree from 10 or 15 feet away, and I'm going to look for the problems and dead branches or diseased branches. And we don't have any dead or diseased branches on this tree, but we have some problem branches. So I think what I always say is I always look for the dead, diseased, and then I look for the, crossing or redundant branches that don't make any sense. And I don't have a lot of problems here, but I do have this branch here that's sort of crossing over. I have this branch here that's crossing over. These two are crossing, and I want to try to clean the tree up. Okay, so what I'm gonna, I'm gonna take out my, I'm gonna take out this crossing branch here, and if I can show you, I'm gonna show you real closely. I'm not gonna cut right very close to the main trunk. I'm gonna come out past the branch spur, and I'm gonna cut, make a nice clean cut right here. Obviously, we want nice clean pruners, nice clean tools to do our cutting with. I'm also gonna take this branch out because I don't like this crossing. And I also am just looking at all this. I think I have a pretty good structure, and now I have a tree that's still very upright. So I really want branches that are more like this. I want branches to come out. So I'm gonna take off about 1/3 of the fresh growth, sort of half to 1/3, because I think it's all too tall for me. And I want to encourage this sideways growth. So even on the sideways branch, I'm gonna take off 1/3. I'm gonna cut back to here on this one. So that's sort of, I'm tightening up my tree. I know that this bud here and this bud here, these are gonna grow out another, 12, 18 inches this spring. So, I'm going to start, I typically start up high. I'm going to leave my central leader. I like him, but I'm gonna take half of him off. I'm gonna come back down and I'm take this branch. I want this branch to now kind of go out here. So I am going to, I'm going to prune him pretty far down. And if you can bring the camera in close, I'm going to show you. I'm going to actually choose between two different buds. I have a bud here. Now this bud wants to go up, but I have this bud here. It's on this side. If I prune for this bud, I think it'll get it to come out, more sideways. So I'm going to go ahead and prune just above the bud like that. So I'm hoping that this bud will kind of not go for the sky and come out this way more. Do the same thing over here. I'm going to choose for this bud here. Alternate apple trees are alternate budded, so you've got options. Every other one is kind of facing the right direction. I'm going to prune this one here. Going to come here, prune this one here. I'm going to take this one quite a ways down. I guess I'm taking a lot more than 1/3, but then these are the upper branches. I don't want it to go for the sky. And I like this Now this branch here, I left him alone earlier on. He's not in the way of anything, but this branch is in fact, it's carrying this whole side of the tree, but it's too tall. So I really want to take it, I really want this branch to branch out this way. So I'm going to take a bud, I'm going to take it back to about here. Again, just cut above the bud. So that bud is going to do the growing. Nothing else above it will take off. And my hope is, again, that it kind of heads out this way and branches. I want to show you this bud from last year. This prune from last year was pruned there, and this bud did exactly what I wanted it to do. It came down and went out this way. So this is a new little branchlet. I'm mostly going to leave him alone, maybe snip at the end. I think he'll do well. Now I have 2 or 3 branches that I haven't touched left yet. And these are doing kind of what I want them to do, but I'm going to choose a bud that's sort of on the downside, because I think that'll come out this way versus one that's on the upside of the branch, because I think that'll shoot for the sky. So I'm going to come down, I'm going to choose this bud here, and I'm going to prune just above the bud. Mostly you'll see me do angled cuts. The angled cut helps me steer away from the bud tissue. So I think that's a good tip. And again, I've got another one here. I'm going to choose the bud that I think will go out toward you, kind of away from the tree, but on a horizontal path. And then I'm going to choose this bud here. I'm going to prune just above that. I think that's mostly, I have a tree I think I like. Down here, I think I see one I didn't really deal with. This damage here, I was going to point this out. That's deer damage. A deer is actually kind of chomped on that. It's pretty ragged and ugly. They like to chew on apple buds. I'm going to cut that back just a little bit and see what happens. The lower parts of an apple tree often a mess. You know, you just try to clean them up and get them to have some pretty good branching structure that's going to support long-term health and long-term strength in the structure. So thank you so much for watching our video today. This is Todd with Mandy Spring Nursery in Granville and Canopy of Saratoga in Wilton, New York.